Hey guys, just doing a few videos tonight, and I want to speak again about the numerical sequences that I receive from God and also have used to build everything at Share Tanzania. As time has gone on, my ability and means and ways of communicating with God have evolved and grown exponentially from when it first began. Now I understand ways that I can, as I would call it, lay down a fleece, for example. I can ask, is this something that needs to happen? Please give me this sign, and God will come back to me with a sign to let me know if this is the way I should go for something for the children or not. I can ask in other ways and I'll receive a dream. The reason I built this village for special needs children is because I had a dream about the concept. Didn't tell me exactly, but off the back of that dream I interpreted during that day afterwards what was meant from that dream from God. And the thing is, and the problem I have with seeing the world at present, the spiritual world, and people dealing with these number sequences, is I can see God frantically waving at people and clicking his fingers. And so few people are understanding why he's waving or why he's clicking his fingers. And it's become this fun game for people where they say, oh, what's your recurring angel number? And they go, oh, mine's 222. And you say, okay, what does it mean? You ask them, what does it mean? And, oh, I don't know, it just shows up. I don't know what it means. And to those people I say, it's time for you to take advantage of this blessing. It's time for you to learn the language, because it can take you places where you're absolutely needed. Take you away from alcohol, take you away from all that world that we call normal in the West, which is not normal. Take you away from the consumption of other living beings' flesh. Take you away from accidental cause of harm through ignorance and so on and so forth, or environmental destruction. Take you away from all that stuff. But then it can take you into service, where you can do things you didn't even expect for one moment you would do with your life. When 1111 started showing up for me, my friends and family thought I was going crazy. I wondered if I was as well. Look now. I followed 1111. I said, what is this about? I said, okay, whatever it is, wherever it shows up, I'll go in that direction. And it showed up in an email after a long water fast, and I applied to volunteer with a NGO, a non-government organ, a charity ultimately, here in East Africa to help disadvantaged children. I applied for the wrong one. I meant to apply for one in Uganda, I applied for one in Tanzania. Now look, I followed it. I came here, there was nothing. Absolutely nothing. There was me. £2,000 left in my bank account after about 3 months, and a laptop computer. I have everything that those people, I have less, I had less than what many of those people who are seeing 1111 are seeing. But I dare follow it with everything I've got. I dare surrender to God's will and let go of the will of myself. I dared to do it. I tried it because I believed that God was calling me somewhere. I'm not boasting. I'm not saying that everyone should do that. I'm not saying it's possible for everyone to do it. People have children and see it. You can't just up and run away. But you can learn it. And you can learn it through lifestyle changes. You can learn it through making your body sensitive enough to understand it. By dissolving away the selfishness within ourselves, and by wholeheartedly aiming to be of your highest good and to live within the higher virtues of a human life. And I say it humbly, because I'm by no means a virtuous human being. I still have my errors, I still have my mistakes. I'm not floating around on some cloud of enlightenment as if I'm completely passionate at every single moment of every day. That's not how it is for me. I lose my temper, I struggle, sometimes I overeat, sometimes I get too tired, sometimes I get short-tempered with people, sometimes I oversee things, sometimes I'm not tuned in enough and I miss signs from God. But I was tuned in enough whilst fasting. I was tuned in enough whilst abstaining from overindulging in sexual pleasure. And I am still most of the time tuned in enough to do what needs to be done. And instead of seeing it like some novelty, I threw myself into it. Seeing 11:11 5 years ago, I come here, follow it to Tanzania. I was sitting here at one point with no money and a laptop computer. Didn't speak the language, didn't know what to do, but I kept the faith. 11:11 called me here. I believed 11:11 was God. Thus, I kept the faith. I'm sticking around, I'm not leaving. I'll let you show me what you want me to do. 5 years later, over 600 children in school, many of which were child labouring. A village has been built. I'm sitting there now. I'm sitting in that village now, called Featherstail, with all these special needs children, finding a home here, some with their parents. There were people here in palliative care. Inside this children's village, there's an animal rescue with over 55 dogs. I have a centre for the street-involved children who are struggling to rehabilitate after life so they can't stay here with the special needs kids. 30 boys in there. There's a home down the road with 15 smaller children, ranging from 3 years old to 8 years old. It's no use just having a random number sequence rock up in your life from time to time and not acting on it. Strike while you can, because there's one thing you can't get back is time. And the more time passes, the less chance we have of manifesting what is needed on this planet. I understand the language of number synchronicities. I know how to use it. I know how to get it to answer questions for me. I know how to get it to give me guidance to go this way or that way. I know how to tune into it. That is your job, to understand it, to learn it. And you'll get there through fasting, through prayer, and having an open heart. But if you're confused and you just keep waking up at the same time every day, or you keep getting text messages, or you keep buying things and they add up to the same, this is God clicking, waving at you. He's saying, hey, your mind's not quiet enough, or your habits are not clean enough for me to speak to you well inside your mind through your pineal gland. So I'm doing this in your reality. I'm synchronistically doing this in your reality, in the hope that I can call you to your higher purpose. Come with me. And we must develop ourselves to follow it. We must develop ourselves to learn it. And we must stop treating it like a hobby. And we must see it for what it is. That God himself, the creator of all, the source of all consciousness, the source of all light, is trying to get your attention because he needs you to do something for him. And to do it, you'll need to be disciplined. To do it, he'll need to have a language that he can speak to you with. To do it, He needs you to be healthy and strong. To do it, He needs you to stop trying to do it yourself and let Him show you what you're supposed to do. So whatever your recurring number is irrelevant. If it doesn't mean anything to you, if you haven't found out a meaning for it or how it works or how the language works, that's your job. That's your job. It only comes through self-development. It only comes through spiritual pursuit, like fasting, clean eating, and living a life of non-harm, non-judgment, where possible. Treading as gently as you can upon this planet, with the higher virtues of humanity as your goal, and to be of your highest good in service to God, which is normally in service to others. In some way. It doesn't have to physically be caring for the sick. It doesn't have to be caring for people with your physical body. It could be inventing something. It could be writing something. It could be playing a certain type of music. But whatever it is, work on it. It's not just a novelty of life. It's God trying to get your attention, to do something. I know, because I was once one such person. God bless, guys. Bye. Weapons always close to end.